Yo guys, what is going on? Blossom is back and welcome back to another episode of Top Drives. And yes, you heard that right, your boy's voice is back. It is back, baby. Let's get it. Alright guys, so first of all, shout out to Hutch. They actually released Christmas collection around Christmas. That's the first time they've ever done that. So you know what? Props. I mean, Christmas is over, but you know, we all remember Christmas collection came out last year. Well, actually no, Christmas collection 2021 didn't come out last year. It came out this year in January. So you know what? Pretty nice. All right guys, you guys know how it's gonna work over here. I'm going to be rating the Christmas collection 2022 pack. Still kind of confused at why they are silver and black cars, because like, how does that even have a connection to Christmas? I don't know. I really don't. But anyway guys, we're gonna be chilling out today. You guys know what the ranks are gonna be: Dirt Kaiser, Daily Driver, Frequent Provider, Pernicious Ulcer, and of course the worst of the worst goes down to Val Choice. Now, as always with these special challenges, I have to give out a disclaimer. Hutch will make a challenge where every single car is going to be useful, okay? So there might be some cars that might end up in Val Choice, but that doesn't mean that they're going to be useless for the Christmas collection challenge, okay? They are going to be useful. Every single car that you're going to see over here is probably going to play a part in your Christmas collection challenge, depending on what cars that you have. But I'm letting you guys know I'm going to be ranking these cars in a more general standpoint and how useful these cars are outside of Christmas collection itself. So with that being said, let's get straight into it. And the first one is going to be the Aston Martin Vantage. Now, I just had a conversation with Birdie about this car, and I told him that it was pretty decent, but I also told him that it loses by 50 everywhere. The thing about the Aston Martin Vantage is that it's always been this hybrid car of a high top speed, a low 0 to 60, and the handling wasn't good enough to be good, but not bad enough to be considered bad. Very interesting car. It's only going to lose by 50. It got a little bit better when it went down in RQ at RQ54, because obviously it's cheaper to use now. That being said though, it's not going to win you too much. Very niche situations where maybe you need to use it for the test bowl and you cannot use the Bulldog. I can't think of many situations where that is the case. It's going to be Pernicious Ulcer. But like I said, every car is going to be useful for the challenge. Next one is going to be the Audi A6 All-Road Quattro. It's an interesting one because it handles pretty well. It has all surface tires, 4-wheel drive, and it's relatively light. I want to say it's either a very high frequent provider or a very low daily driver. For now, because I'm in that Christmassy spirit, I'm going to give it a little bit of more positive vibe. So I'm going to put it in daily driver for now, but that might change in the video. Like I said, it's a very high frequent, if not a very low daily. It's a very mid car. It's not good, but it's definitely not bad. It's quite okay. Alright, moving on. The Chrysler Atlantic. This car used to have a chock full of MRA, but the top speed wasn't really there. Once again, it's very similar in the Vantage in a way where it has a lot of stats that aren't considered good nor bad, but it's also cheap to use. Hybrid, gonna lose it by 50 in many situations. It's gonna go Pernicious Ulcer, just like the Vantage. Next up is going to be the Challenger Scat Pack. Now, the Challenger Scat Pack has been a car that I feel like we've been seeing everywhere recently. Christmas collection, not fifth anniversary, but Old Guard. I feel like it was in the last Christmas collection this year as well. That being said though, it's not too useful. I would say that it's a little bit, it's a hybrid car. It's a hybrid car. Once again, yeah, I'm gonna leave it at Pernicious Ulcer. I mean, if anything, it's very similar to the Vantage, where the handling isn't very good, but it's not very bad. 0 to 60 is low, top speed is high. But then again, although it has better stats to the Vantage, it also is 7 RQ higher, so it's like, yeah, in terms of RQ scaling, these three cars are just very similar. Like, I feel like just because the Challenger is of course a higher rated car with better stats, you will get more use out of the Scat Pack over the Vantage. That is going to be true. But in terms of the amount of value it brings at its level, I would say that these two cars are very similar. Moving on is the Challenger SRT 392. This car we've been seeing everywhere as well because it's been an Interstellar. And I think both these Challengers have been in an Interstellar. Old Guard, 5th anniversary. It's just been, I feel like it's just been everywhere. The Challenger SRT 392 is just slightly better, right? Just handles a little better than the Scat Pack, lower 0 to 60 than the Scat Pack. It's just a slightly better car. It's a mid car. Next up, Donkavort D10. Man, I mean, once again, the main thing about the Donkavort D10 is that it's very, very, very light. But that's it. So, Pernicious Ulcer. It's not the most useless thing in the world, mainly because of that lightweight, and once again, the handling. I hate it when an ultra rare has less than 80 handling, Well, I say that the Challenger Scat Pack is 82. How should I put it? If the Ultra is under RQ, I don't know, 58, and it doesn't have 80 handling, but it has more than like 78 or maybe 78 or more, like I hate it. It's 78 handling for an ultra rare within this RQ level is the literal definition of purgatory. It's like you're not going to hell, but you're not good either. Like, it's like, I don't know what I want to do with you. You know what I mean? Next up, the Infinity XQ60 all-wheel drive is going to go to Val Choice. It just doesn't handle, and it's heavy. Mercedes AMG G63 6x6. I'm going to put it in Pernicious Ulcer. Main thing about it is that it's got a very low 0 to 60, four-wheel drive off-road tires, and high ground clearance. It doesn't handle. You definitely want a 332 it. Decent car for hill climb. That's about it. Maybe motocross because of that high ground clearance, but nah, honestly just hill climb. Maybe like quarter mile. In like dirt or sand or gravel. Not gravel because off-road tires. So dirt, sand, not snow because it's heavy. Dirt, sand. Yeah. All right. Nissan Murano is next. I want to say it's okay. It's not the worst thing in the world. It handles all right for an RQ55. I'll give it a freaking provider. It'll be a very low freaking provider though. But then again, I barely ever use the car. I might bring it down later. Next up, the Peugeot RCZR. This might be an interesting one. I'm actually gonna put it in freaking provider. It's not very good in terms of stats, but because of what it is, it's quite useful. It's a coupe that's medium ground clearance. There are not a lot of coupes with medium ground clearance, I'll tell you that much. Especially that handles pretty well as well. I mean, 83 handling for an RQ52, it's pretty good. It's a very ugly car, but if you need to use the RCZR, it actually is quite valuable. So I would put it in freaking provider. Next up, Subaru Ascent, also Val Choice. I mean, 56 RQ, it's got a low 0 to 60, yes, but that handling is atrocious. It is lightweight though. I would say it's better than the Infinity, but not by much. And then we talk about the Subarus. These Subarus are okay. They're decent. I'll give the Impreza Pernicious Ulcer and the Impreza WRX just because it's slightly better freaking provider. They both exceed 90 handling, both medium ground clearance, they're both four-wheel drive, and they're both quite light, and they're both saloons. They have things going for it, but once again, only one RQ difference between both of the cars. I'd rather choose the car that's just slightly better, slightly lower 0 to 60. You know, that's the only difference here. Slightly higher top speed as well, same handling. All right, then that's it for the ultra rare. So no Der Kaiser. Yeah, I'm gonna leave the Audi there. All right, let's move on to epics now. First one, Aston Martin DB11. Now the Aston Martin DB11 serves as a pretty good hybrid. I don't know, it's a pretty interesting one. It's got a good top speed. It's got a respectable 0 to 60. It's got good handling. But the thing is, the level of epics now is so damn high. You have things like the Ginetta, and okay, fine, slick tires, we don't count that. So maybe like the Celine, right, from World Expo, or even the Farbau GTS, or even the Porsche from World Expo, the GT3 RS Touring, or I think it's GT3 Touring, like the butt car basically. Like, those cars are just so much better now. DB11, I mean, it's crazy to put it in daily driver because this used to be a legendary, but the level of epics are so damn high now where 3.689 is just, it's good, but it's not like standout material, you know what I mean? MRI is decent on it too. It's a very strong daily driver. Next up is the RS3 Sportback performance tires SUV. It's a very niche car. Like, I mean, yeah, it's just a very, very niche car. Next up, Audi S8 Val Choice. M3 Competition Saloon. I might be a little bit biased over here, but I'm gonna put it in Der Kaiser. I think it has 97 or 99 MRA. Like, the MRA on that thing is ridiculous, okay? Basically, it's better than a Hellcat. And on top of that, it handles way better than a Hellcat. And on top of that, it also is a saloon. So it is a very, very, very impressive car. I mean, yes, Hellcat's still going to be in the test pool, but it has the same 0 to 60 or very similar, 3.7 and 3.6. Honestly, I don't know why the Hellcat has 3.6. I'm a Dodge collector, and I know their 0 to 60 is 3.7, not 3.6, at least with the Challengers. But yeah, the M3 Competition Saloon, when I saw that it had 99 MRA, like, I always wanted the car, but now that it says that it has 99 MRA on Top Drives Club, like, I really, really, really want it. That's like the only genuine car I want from Christmas collection, honestly. If I open any Christmas collection packs, it's only because of that BMW and maybe the AMG GTR. All right, next up, the BMW M440i. I love how it's called 440 because, you know, the 440 Magnum is a Dodge engine, or just a Mopar engine as a whole. Four-wheel drive, 90 handling for RQ66. It's got a disgusting 0 to 60 though. Like, it's really, really, really bad. It's also relatively heavy. I'm gonna give it Val choice. It's not a card that you're not gonna use. It's not a card that you're gonna use often at all. Hellcat, it's very average. I'll give it freaking Provider, honestly. It still brings a value to the table because it still knows what it needs to be. It's a great dragster, especially for RQ72. It's a great dragster, but I don't think I would give it daily driver, mainly because the Mercedes CLK DTM exists, so it's just a better car, better MRA, similar 0 to 60 and a higher top speed. So very, 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 very close. Hellcat, I'm gonna give freaking Provider. It is a very decent car, and it's very, very key when it's needed. You know what? It's needed a lot. 5th anniversary. No, sorry, not 5th anniversary. Silver Screen collection, right? Silver Screen 1, Silver Screen 2, and then now again in Christmas collection. I think it was Christmas collection in the last Christmas collection as well, I think. But yeah, it's a useful car. It's a useful car. Next up, the Infiniti Q50 Red Sport 400. This might be a little controversial. I'm gonna put it daily driver, mainly because of what it is. It's a medium ground clearance saloon with performance tires without 4-wheel drive. Because when you think about it, when it comes to epics, almost every single rear-wheel drive medium ground clearance saloon has 4-wheel drive. Think of Mitsubishi, think Subaru. But the Infiniti brings, you know, what I would say rear-wheel drive performance. Because we always know that 4-wheel drive performance is always overinflated because of that drivetrain. But the Q50's stats are very true to RQ65, I would say. Like, it's a good bargain, I would say. It handles very well. It's got a low 0 to 60. I'm going to give it daily driver. All right, next up, the Jaguar XJ13. I'm also going to give it daily driver, mainly because it's used everywhere. I don't know why. Every time. I feel like this is one of the most... look, it's no surprise that Hutch loves using Jaguar. It's like Jaguar for everything. 575 here. 575 there, 575 everywhere. How many fucking tri-series where the Jaguar 575 has showed up? Like Hutch loves the Jaguars, okay? But yeah, the XJ13, it's a good car. I mean, it's the main thing about it is that it has very good stats in its niche, which is a very, very small niche of like 1960s cars, you know what I mean? It also is a style icon, so there's that as well. And motorsport too. All right, next up, Jaguar XJS TWR. I'm still gonna give it daily driver. In the past, I would give it Dirk Kaiser, but obviously there are a bunch of better slick tire cars now. But for 74 RQ, you're still getting 98 and handling, a very lightweight car with 100 MRA and a high top speed. Very decent. Mercedes-Benz E400 is next. Dirk Kaiser, 100%. It is a Cadillac CT6 killer. Really, really, really good. MRA is fantastic. 4-wheel drive center tires, amazing handling, low 0 to 60. The only caveat about this car is that it's low ground clearance, not medium, but outside of that, really, really good. Mitsubishi Lancer is next, and I'm going to give this... I'm gonna give it Pernicious Ulcer. Here's the thing, right? Like I said, like you compare this to the Infiniti. Yeah, this car handles so much better. True. But 5.8 to 4.5. That's a 1.3 second difference. You see what I mean? Like 4-wheel drive overinflates the RQ way too much. I think that this car would be a really good RQ64 maybe. I mean, it would be a fantastic 64. Maybe can pass as a 65. But yeah, not a very good car that I use very often. Next up, the compressor Val choice. I'm a bit tough with that, I will be honest. I think like to most people they might be like Pernicious Ulcer, maybe. No, I can't see anyone putting it in freaking Provider. Pernicious Ulcer maybe, but I'm gonna be super strict with this car. Val choice. So disappointing. So disappointing. This is an RQ68 car without a doubt. Like the 0 to 60 is okay, but the MRA is terrible. And it used to be amazing. Like the MRA on this thing used to be like 100 plus, and now it's like I don't even know what it is. It's irrelevant. That's what it is. 95 handling for a performance tire epic. Come on, man. Like 95 is what you expect from an ultra rare these days. Very, very disappointing car. Next up, Forester. I'm gonna give it Pernicious Ulcer once again. I have this car at 2 stars. I used it once, and I believe it wasn't for In the Shadows. It was for I think it was a Subaru Tri-Series Owner's Challenge for me. I got it to 2 stars to finish a level, and I never used it since. So very, very niche. Only useful for performance tire, SUV, minivan kind of situations. Subaru Impreza. This was Christmas collection last year as well. This thing is kind of garbage. I'm also gonna give it Pernicious Ulcer, and the Vag is Val choice. Yeah, just crap, honestly. I'd rather choose a car with better handling. All right, next up, legendaries. We're starting over Audis. Obviously Audis, not much to say about it. I'm gonna be generous maybe and give it a frequent provider, but nothing higher than that. For an RQ83, it's kind of disappointing. I want to bring it down to pernicious ulcer, honestly. It's 94 handling for a four-wheel drive. Let that sink in. 94 handling for a four-wheel drive. I mean, I'm thinking of, like, you know, the Polestar, for example, right? The Volvo Polestar is an epic. That's 98 handling four-wheel drive, and that's 4 RQ cheaper. You also have the Porsche, I forgot what it is, 911 Targa, I believe. I think it's 97 handling. And then once again, this is a legendary low RQ. Most people are only going to 1-star it, so this is a car that you're mainly going to see at 88 handling. Pernicious ulcer. Alright, next up, Bentley, pernicious ulcer. And then we have the McLarens. Okay, the McLarens are good. Like, McLarens are going to be Der Kaiser. AMG GTRs, Der Kaiser. You're getting over 100 handling, over 100 MRA. GTRs are very, very mid. They have really good 0 to 60s, and that's the only thing that they have. Their handling's not that good. The top speed is irrelevant because they have the worst MRA of any legendary performance tire, 68, that we're talking about on the Ego is very, very sad. Same thing for this GTR. They're all just going to be freaking provider at best. Zanavi is pretty good. I'm gonna give it the Kaiser, yeah, 100 MRA, 100 handling plus. 911 as well is gonna be Der Kaiser. Cayenne, tough one. This I'm gonna give it daily driver, mainly because World Expo brought a lot of better Cayennes and Macans. Then we have the Porsche Taycan Turbo S. That is definitely Der Kaiser, one of the best estates in the game. 4-wheel drive, very low 0 to 60, I believe. Also medium ground clearance. And last but not least, the Roof RT35. I'm gonna give that Der Kaiser. My nickname for this roof is actually the Yellowbird Killer, because that's exactly what it is. I need that car at 1-star will be the Yellowbird. That's all you need to care about. Is about 99 MRA, very high top speed, 2.8 0 to 60s at 1-star. It gets the job done. Handling isn't very good. Doesn't really matter though, because it is a down and right dragster anyway. One of the few roofs where the MRA didn't get chopped off in half. But anyway, guys, that's gonna be it. I want to be honest. Christmas collection this year kind of bad. Some pretty decent cars like the GTR, yeah, that's really good. The BMW M3 competition, yeah, that's really good. But honestly, for the most part, not very good. Christmas collection, not a very good pack. I will open some though. I have opened some before, and I'm going to open some more later. But that's really because I'm only chasing for one literal car. That's it, man. Like, it's not very good. The car collection here isn't very good. Go open a Motorsport pack, go open a Dodge pack, go open a Lotus pack, go open a Peugeot pack. Those are going to be so much more value for your money. But anyway, guys, that's going to be it for today. Hope you guys enjoyed this video and this episode of What Can You Get From That Pack. I'm going to stay safe, wash your hands, and blossom out. Peace.
Bro, this song just makes me so happy.
Me too.
Imagine being Asian in the 50s, looking nifty, leather jacket, looking sleek, look like Presley, look so deadly, got it, jukebox back at home, feeling jazzy, turn it on and play it slow, like the movies with the ladies.
They so fine.
Imagine being Asian in the 50s, looking nifty, leather jacket, looking sleek, look like Presley, look so deadly, got it, jukebox back at home, feeling jazzy, turn it on and play it slow, like the movies with the ladies.
They so fine.
Sit back, relax, and